Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, I just got done with All American Season 5, Episode 5 called I Need Love. Guys, what a great episode. This was actually a Valentine's Day episode, so that was a shocker to me. I didn't know that it was a Valentine's Day episode. All we know from the promo is that, you know, this week's episode is about how Jordan and Layla are trying to prevent JJ from telling anybody that they are together. And, you know, JJ does speed dating in this episode, and now we know why, because it is Valentine's Day. So we start off this episode where it's Jordan and it's Spencer in the press conference room for the Condors, and Coach Garrett's talking about how, he's talking about all the new players that are going to be coming in, some new additions to the team, and he's super excited. And, Jordan's like, it's kind of, sad because, I see how excited Coach Garrett is about bringing people in, but, what we found out about him, I kind of feel, sad that we're kind of blindsiding him, because look how happy he is. And then Spencer's like, I don't feel bad about that. We need to put an end to what he's doing. It's not okay. And I think it's Spencer or Jordan that said, yeah, it's the calm before the storm. The storm is coming for him. You know what I mean? He has no idea. And it's not only that, it's like, that happens for like 1 minute, and then they kind of just do other things throughout the episode, Jordan and Spencer. Then mainly the focus of, staying on the Coach Garrett stuff, like what's going on with that, is that Olivia and Coach Baker, or Billy, are working together still, where Olivia got done with her her hit piece for Coach Garrett. Like, she's done with it. She's done writing it, and wanted to show, Billy, what she had written down, and see if it was okay to, officially, go through with it. And, he, of course, I guess, like chuckles for a minute, or not chuckles, but like he smiles for a minute. And, Olivia's like, oh, it's missing something, isn't it? And he's like, no, just let me finish writing or whatever. And she's like, okay, I'm done, reading it. And she's like, it's missing something. He's like, no, I think it's great, and she's like, but I'm telling you, it's missing something. And, Olivia's like, I feel like, yes, we kind of feel like we have enough proof, but not the official proof where I feel like he could wiggle his way out of it. Like, I really want to make him pay for all the stuff he's done. I want to, really want something that he can't wiggle his way out of this. Like, yeah, yes, we have two players, like we have a past player and a previous player that did this, but we don't want to make it sound like, they are just, this is just, two players that, are just upset. And you know what I mean? Like two, players that just got upset, and that's why they're saying this. Like, we need hard proof that, Coach Garrett, did these things. And, Olivia just is, trying to look around, trying to figure out, like, what can I do? Like, well, like, maybe I can look at old, assistant coaches that he's had and stuff like that. Maybe I can get one of them to say something, and that way we'll have hard proof, from a coach or assistant coach's perspective. And maybe, we can find some proof of maybe if anything, anything was weird, or maybe when this all started, maybe we could do some research on when, like, Coach Garrett started, started doing this and started, taking out other players, like when this all started. So let me do some research and figure that out. Maybe we could see, like, maybe when assistant coaches came in, and see how long they stayed, and Olivia's trying to figure out, I need something that, Coach Garrett can't wiggle his way out of. Like, that's what she's trying to do. But she also asked Billy, like, oh, like, why'd you smile? And he's like, because it's me being so proud of what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're really doing this. I'm really proud of you. And, while this is going on, we have, Jordan and Spencer, they kind of get sucked into doing speed dating. But, it's funny to me is because, while JJ asked, not Asher, but asked Spencer and Jordan to do the speed dating thing. Jordan wanted to say no, but kind of like JJ was making it sound like, why would you say no, Jordan? You are single, or are you not single? And you know what I mean? Because, he's trying to get something, he's trying to get out of Jordan that he is dating Layla, or he's seeing Layla. And then that's when he's like, okay, what are you trying to do, or whatever? And he's like, am I right, guys? Like, isn't he single? What's going on with him? And he's like, oh, then Jordan's like, okay, I'll do it, or whatever. And Spencer, of course, is seeing, her name is Alicia. He's seeing Alicia. Again, he just met this girl, but, he's talking to Alicia, the girl that was at the wedding dress shop that he met. And, we have Coop having a conversation with, with Spencer, saying, like, oh, like, what are you doing, Spencer, for Valentine's Day? And he's like, oh, well, JJ's got me doing the speed dating thing. And he's like, Coop's like, wait a second, you're telling me, you're going on a speed dating thing, and while you're also talking to this Alicia girl, you should do something big for this Alicia girl. You should do something big for Valentine's Day. And then Spencer's like, we just started really hanging out. I don't think that's what she's gonna want. And then Coop's like, no, she is waiting for you to one call her asking to hang out for Valentine's Day, but also do something big for her as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's waiting for you to call her to ask her to do something for, Valentine's Day, but something big. She's waiting for that. And then Spencer's like, wait, we just started. I don't think she's like is wants something big. Like, it would be weird. And then of course Coop's like, oh, like, have you seen Pretty Woman or whatever? And he's like, I've never seen Pretty Woman. And he's like, Coop's like, go watch Pretty Woman. And you know what I mean? Because you don't know what you're talking about, and pretty much like that. Like, go watch Pretty Woman. She is waiting for you to do something big for her for, Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Forget you thinking that that's not what she wants. She wants that. And long story short, that ends up going south because when, Alicia comes over, and there's candles everywhere that JJ helps, Spencer put up. That's not what Alicia wants. Alicia doesn't end up wearing the red dress that Spencer, gives her. Doesn't end up. She kept the chocolates, but she is allergic to flowers, and she's just pretty much, you could tell that she's kind of like, feels like things are getting very rushed into things. Like, he's rushing into things, and it's kind of making her feel awkward and making things feel weird. And I knew that right away, where I was like, Coop, I was like, that's not what this Alicia girl's probably going to want. I'm like, I see this going bad, and it ends up going bad, where it's like, she's like, like, let's slow things down or whatever. And then that's when Spencer's like, I did all this because, I kind of felt guilty because I slept with my ex-girlfriend. And then that's when Alicia's like, well, I slept with my ex-boyfriend. It's all good. You know what I mean? And, and he tries blaming Coop, and then Alicia's like, you're blaming Coop for you doing this? And he's like, no, like, I felt guilty. That's why I did all this. And, they end up watching Pretty Woman, and they actually end up making out. So it ended up working out at the end of the day. Coop's like idea, you know what I mean? Alicia kind of just, she's like, it's all good, you know what I mean? There's nothing to feel guilty about. I did it. I know you slept with your ex. It's all good. Let's just have a fun night, you know what I mean? Let's take things slow, let's, watch Pretty Woman, and they end up making out. And, what's really sad is because, when Jordan goes to, tell Layla, like, oh, I think JJ knows, and, Layla's like, wait, I thought JJ was drunk and he didn't remember, he had no recollection of seeing us together, and he's like, well, he is, he's pretty much, like, trying to get under my skin. He knows that, we are together, and that's when, that's why he's like, oh, but that's why I'm doing the speed dating thing. And then Leia's like, oh, okay, or whatever. Like, I'll like, okay, well, you're doing that. I'm gonna find a really hot date for tonight. And then Jordan's like, wait a second, no. I'm super excited for tonight. I really want to do something big. And right away, Layla does not want to do anything big. She's like, why don't we not do anything big? Why don't we just, watch a scary movie? And pretty much is like turning down, Jordan being really excited to throw, Layla this big Valentine's Day kind of like, surprise that he wants to do for her. And, she just turns it down. And I was very confused because she's the one that kind of like said that she doesn't want to just do the sneaking around anymore, and not have, and just, they don't know what they are. She wants to be together with Jordan. So I was like, okay, you want to date Jordan, but you don't want anybody to know, which is okay, because you want to protect what you have. Cool, fine. But to have her turn down their first big Valentine's Day, even though they are secret, that's one thing, that's fine. But you really love Jordan, that's why you wanted to start dating Jordan, and that's why you didn't want to do the sneaking around, and you're still doing the sneaking around, but that's why you wanted to actually put a label on it, and you guys actually being together, and you guys aren't just, sneaking around. So it's like, I didn't understand that at all, why she would turn down, like, Jordan being excited to have his first Valentine's Day with the person he loves. I was very confused by that. I was like, why are you doing that? And it kind of made Jordan feel really upset. And he's like, okay, well, whatever you want, we'll do. And you can tell he's just confused when he leaves the room. And, we end up going back to that too, because after he's done with the speed dating thing, and JJ's like keeps like when Jordan's doing the speed dating thing, JJ keeps interjecting and pretty much saying things into while he's talking to a person, talking to one of the girls. He just keeps interjecting and saying things, pretty much trying to get it out of Jordan that like like when he's talking to the girls like what do you look, I guess the questions were set for Jordan, where it was like the girls were asking like, what's your visualization for your dream girl? And that's when he was kind of like describing Layla, but JJ's like, be more specific. And then like Jordan's like, I know what you're trying to do. He's like, what am I trying to do? I know you know about me and Layla. He's like, you and Layla? And it's like he knew about Jordan and Layla, but like he kind of tried to act like, oh, like I don't know, like, oh wait, that's actually true. You guys are together. That was just something I thought. It was just a hunch I had, in the picture or whatever. But it's like, no, he knew. So right then there is no going back. That Jordan already said, I know you know about me and Layla. So it's like right then and there, I thought I was weird because Spencer didn't hear that, and Spencer was doing the speed dating with with again Jordan and JJ. So I thought that was weird that he didn't hear Spencer, because Spencer was there doing the speed dating, which a lot of those girls. One girl had a foot fetish. The other girl's like, oh, the I see dead people kid. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, she's like, yeah, like, oh, like, do you believe? I think one of the questions was like, do you believe in ghosts? And she's like, the I see the I see dead people kid. And she's like, yeah, don't you or whatever? And then Spencer's like, you don't believe in ghosts, do you? And then or whatever. And she's like, oh, not like I do or whatever. And she's like, oh, like can you see ghosts? And she's like, not yet. I was like, wait a second, what do you mean? Something like that, because he's like, oh, like do you believe? She's like, yeah, like she's like I think Spencer's like, do you believe in ghosts? And she's like, yeah, like the I see dead people can. And he's like, you don't like you don't see ghosts like him, do you? And she's like, not yet. And I was like, I thought that was just creepy. I was like, okay. So we had some weird girls up in there asking the weirdest questions and all that stuff, and just the weird questions that JJ made up to them to ask back to the girls. I thought that was weird. The questions that the girls had for the guys, and the questions that the guys had for the girls, because JJ was writing all the cards for them. I just thought that was very funny, and just a funny sequence, because it got the confession out of Jordan. The confession that JJ initially wanted, but he was kind of shocked at it, the fact of, oh my God, you guys are actually dating. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm going to keep it under lock and key. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm like a vault. We all knew that JJ was going to, I feel like JJ will end up telling somebody, because he's not a vault. He will tell somebody. We know JJ. Also, I'm not happy the way they're like, that the writers are making JJ. I'm not happy with it at all. I don't like how they're just making him to be a drunk. I don't like that at all. They're giving him no reason on why he's acting this way. It doesn't feel like JJ. Yes, JJ likes to party, but not like this. I am concerned that the writers are just doing this to the character. I don't know what reason. I don't know if there is a reason on why that they're doing this to this character. It feels like there's just no reason. He's just doing it. I feel like that's just ridiculous that they don't know what to do with the character, so they're just making him go full into party mode, drinking 24/7 and not giving enough about football, when we know that's not who JJ is. So it is very weird. I feel like they're doing this mainly to benefit off of Asher's storyline. I feel like too. I feel like that's what they're doing, just to have Asher have something to do, and him have like something to prove, and him also them trying to bring in Jabari. I feel like that was all a tie into them bringing in Jabari to kind of take JJ's place, which I knew right away when we saw the actor that plays Jabari's name pop up on the title card. You know what I mean? Like, through like in the beginning of the episode, my sister's like, oh, Jabari's in this episode. I was like, oh shit, this is the episode probably where, JJ finds out that Asher gave his position kind of to Jabari, and that was a weird sequence where, like, before JJ is going to do the speed dating thing, he wants to get his lucky tank top from his locker on campus, and I knew right away when we saw Jabari coming in, and his name was on the intro of the episode. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna run into each other, and it's funny because, while JJ's saying welcome to the family, he said, like, welcome to the family, man. Like, oh, what position are you playing? And he's like, wait, haha, funny, real funny, Asher. You know what I mean? He's like, and then, Jabari's like, no, like, that's the position I'm playing. And then JJ's like, wait a second, like, you really think, you could just have someone come in here and take my spot? And you know what I mean? I played starter all my freshman year of being here. and you're going to be doing that, like, you know what I mean? You're like, be prepared to sit on the bench and be the secondary to me because I'm not going to be on the bench this upcoming season. I'm not doing it. Meaning that it was Flames to spark up JJ's fire again to want to keep, want to get back into working out and to get back to grinding. I don't know if that's why Asher initially wanted to do that, knowing that would spark up, hoping that it would spark up, or even knowing that, you know what I mean? I don't know if he knew going into, if I do this, JJ will get sparked back up to want to start grinding again and actually fight for his position, or he just wanted to do that because he wanted to just think about the team and what made the team better and without thinking about what that would do to JJ. I'm not quite sure, but I knew right then and there that does spark up JJ wanting to get back into the gym because he ends up telling Jordan and Spencer, like, do you know that Jabari is, like, Asher, like, recruited him to take my position? And, that's when, like, all because I won't work out or whatever. And then that's when that's when Jordan and Spencer were like, well, you kind of aren't there for Asher. Like, Asher's there for you. Like, Asher cares about you and he wants you to work. He wants you to work hard for this, like, to stay in your position. He wants you to do well, and you're kind of just, not listening to him. And you know what I mean? And he's just looking out for the team. And in a way, you're kind of like letting down Asher. You know what I mean? It's like he's not letting you down. You're letting him down by you not doing what Asher wants you to do because he is your coach at the end of the day. When it comes to you getting, staying fit and doing things, like you got to listen to him. He's the assistant coach. He's not just your friend, but he's your coach as well. He's your friend that he cares about you and all that, but you don't care about what position he's in. This is hard for him. You got to think it's probably hard for him and that he had to put somebody else in your position, you know what I mean? Because you weren't willing to do Asher a solid. So it works both ways at the end of the day, but I just really do feel bad for Asher, and I feel like bad for the fact that the writers are probably doing this to benefit Asher and everything that's going on in his storyline. I just feel it's very weird what's going on with JJ's character. It feels like this just came out of nowhere. Mid-season. I mean, again, this is only episode 5, but even I feel like it just feels like this came out of nowhere, the way JJ's acting. It's not JJ, I feel like. It's not the JJ I know and love. It's very weird what they're doing, especially because he ends up going. This sparks him to want to go to the gym, and he tells Asher, I'm heading to the gym right now, and Asher's like, you're heading to the gym on Valentine's Day, and he's like, I'll believe it when I see it. And then JJ just ends up leaving because his other frat guys are like, okay, come on, bro, we're going to a frat party of the one girl that has a foot fetish. Let's go. She's having a flip-flop party. And he's like, oh, and the dude's like, and JJ's like, oh, I can't, man. I promised my, my friend / coach that I'd be here at the gym. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, come on, bro, or whatever. And he's like, did you bring your flops? And then JJ's like, I always bring my flops. And then he ends up leaving, and Asher waits to actually see if JJ said he would do, like, he wants to have the moment where, like, when JJ says he'll do something, he'll do it. And he probably thought in that moment, oh my God, I'm really holding out hope that maybe this is what needed to happen to have JJ want to work hard again and to keep his position. I was hoping that, because again, I think this was Asher was thinking I could kill two birds with one stone on doing this. Like, one, I can care for my team and want to make my team better at the benefit of, yes, in a way, giving somebody else JJ's position, but maybe this will spark a flame in him and make him want to work hard to keep his position. Which, in a way, he thought that until he saw JJ leave, and he thinks, okay, I knew JJ wouldn't follow through. I knew he wouldn't do it. JJ talks big game, but he ended up leaving to go to another party. So I don't know where this is going. I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know. I just, Jabari was very chill with it. He's like, I could use some friendly competition, you know what I mean? But JJ's not kidding around. He's like, you know what I mean? Well, you might want to get in your mind now, and you might want to get in your head now that you're going to be riding the bench the entire season. So he's not joking around JJ. At least that's what, like, he just doesn't find it funny. But, Asher had to do what he had to do for the sake of the team. At the end of the day, he is a coach. So, but then I don't like the way the writers are writing JJ. I freaking hate it right now. But also, I do love that Layla realized that she did hurt Jordan's feelings when Jordan ends up coming back in and says, I don't like the way we left things, and I know that because Layla's like, I thought we discussed this already, or we discussed this already on how she didn't want to have a big thing for Valentine's Day. Is like, no, I want to do a big thing for Valentine's Day. And, and he kind of has a way of thinking like, oh, like, am I the secret or or are we the secret? And it's the fact of, when Jordan was telling, Layla, like, JJ knows about us, she instantly went back into, oh my God, I don't want people finding out. I want to protect what we have. or you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna be like, let's not do anything big so they can't find out. So it's kind of like her excuse when she ends up doing something for, you know, Jordan, she ends up like doing like this compatibility, like the speed dating thing. She ends up, you know, or not speed, I guess doing the whole matchmaking thing that, you know, speed dating slash matchmaking that, you know, JJ did, where it's like she has Jordan go in the booth and pretty much say, and she ends up reading off the questions that JJ wrote, and pretty much saying to Jordan, look, that's why I didn't want to, you know, that's why I didn't want to do anything, is because I want to protect what we have from the vortex. When I was like, that makes no sense, that you're saying that you wanted to protect what we have from the vortex, but yet you made Jordan feel bad that he wanted to do something big for you when you're the one that said you wanted to be in a relationship with Jordan. I was like, how is that you protecting him, that you're pushing him away, and you're making him feel bad for him wanting to celebrate his first Valentine's Day with the person that he loves? Hell, he describes Layla as his dream girl. I just felt like that was so fucked. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't know what it is with like Layla and Olivia this season, and I really don't know. Especially last season, you know, how that all went down with everything with, you know, with you know, Layla and Jordan and them getting at each other and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Mainly with Layla having her guard up and stuff like that and all that. And this season where, you know, she just said last episode, oh, I want to be with you, even though we keep it a secret. And then she tries to use the same excuse, oh, I want to be with you. That's why I was pushing you away and I didn't want to do anything big. And you know what I mean? Because I don't want anybody finding out. It's like, that doesn't make any sense that you pushing him away after you just said you wanted to be with him, because you want to protect what you have from the vortex, but yet you're pushing him away. How does that protect what you have from the vortex? I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So that just didn't really make sense to me. I was like, yeah, I understand you want to protect what you have. That's why you're keeping it hidden, which Jordan's fine with that right now. He's like, oh, you know, if that's, you know, if that means I can hold you and be with you, I'm okay with that. But the fact of you still using that excuse, but yet you are pushing him away, how does that protect what you guys have? That you're making him feel bad for him wanting to celebrate, again, his first Valentine's Day with the person he's really happy to be with. I just thought that made no sense. But you know, the biggest thing out of this episode has to be Coop, you know, pretty much, you know, trying to get into this class so that way she can do law and stuff. She's trying to get into this class, and, you know, she pretty much, you know, is in a way still upset the fact of feeling like, you know, she's not, like, in a way, in this episode, she feels like she's not good enough, or she feels like, you know, to be, like, people are better than her, that, you know what I mean, she really felt that when Laura chose Darius over her, like, you know, put Darius a part of the firm, that kind of, like, you know, kind of blindsided Coop, along with giving Darius a desk, and along with, you know, it blindsided Coop that, you know, Laura put Darius on, you know, Preach's, you know, case about getting full custody of Amina, like, put Darius instead of her on it. Kind of blindsided her and made her feel like that, you know, this other Laura made, you know, Coop feel like Darius was better than her, and that's how, like, you know, Coop still feels that she feels like, you know, Darius is better than her because, like, Laura puts Darius instead of her. And, you know, when she goes to try to get into this person's class, he's like 50 other people that actually, like, that went to, you know, internships and stuff like that, and actually know and did the work to get in this position and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, Coop shuts down the interview and says, you know what I mean, I guess, you know, you should pick one of them, you know what I mean, because, you know, you because they have all that experience and I don't, so I guess, you know, you should pick one of them, and just leaves the interview. And I was so upset, because I was like, Coop, no, like, you do deserve to do this. You know what I mean? You know, you've been through so much. You do deserve to be in that class. You know what I mean? It's like, prove Laura wrong. I've been so annoyed at Laura ever since she brought in Darius, and also ever since she put Darius in charge of the case, of Preach's case, instead of, Coop. I thought that was so dumb. I was like, Laura's really taking L's right now. I was like, I'm just not messing with Laura right now. And next thing you know, Darius ends up losing the case anyways. To keep, for Preach to have full custody of Amina, he ends up losing the case easily. And, you know, it made me really upset for not only, you know, Preach, but it made me upset for Coop, because at the end of the day, Coop promised Amina and Preach that, you know, that Coop wouldn't let anything happen to, you know, that wouldn't let anything happen to Amina losing her father. You know what I mean? And it would make sure that Amina got to stay with Preach, and made a promise to Preach that you won't lose Amina. And pretty much Coop, Preach blames, Coop for what went down, saying, you promised me that, you know, that we would win this, Coop. And it's like, no, it's not Coop's fault. It's Laura's fault. She took a big L. And it's funny because, again, Darius just shrugged his shoulders, pretty much went into, like, left the law firm, or went home early. Or I think he packed up all of his stuff and left the law firm, if I'm correct. Or he just left for the day and went just, oh, well, I don't know what to do from there. And Laura's like, you know what I mean? Darius feels really bad or whatever, and pretty much trying to make excuses for the fact of, like, she messed up. Saying, oh, Darius, you know what I mean? He feels really bad or whatever, but, oh, well, or whatever, you know what I mean? He messed up. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you messed up. Not just Darius messed up. You messed up because you should never put Darius on this case because he didn't know Preach like Coop knew Preach. She was willing to fight more for Preach than Darius willing to fight for Preach. You know what I mean? It's like, this is just another case for Darius. It's not that way for Coop. Coop just, you know what I mean? Coop just doesn't get to just, shrug her shoulders and be like, okay, I'm going to move on. She doesn't have she can't do stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I love also what she said, she can't afford to shrug her shoulders. You know what I mean? She's like, you know what I mean? Because, we don't get to do that. I don't get to do that. You know what I mean? Me as a black person, I don't get to just shrug my shoulders and move on. Just so you're shrugging your shoulders and you get to make mistakes. I can't make mistakes. And that was a great point what Coop was making. Like, I can't make mistakes. I can't just shrug my shoulders. And that's why I would have won that case, because I would have been fighting one for my people, but also fighting for Preach because I know him and I know how much Amina meant to him and they both mean to me. I would have fought. Unlike Darius, it's like you can't just shrug that off. So I was really, really happy when Coop took it upon herself to, like, go back to that interview and tell him, look, this is who I am. I wasn't fully, I didn't tell you really fully who I am, you know what I mean? Because I thought people had been better than me, but it turns out, no, people aren't there. The people that do have the experience and stuff aren't better than me. I've been through so much. And you know what I mean? I can't afford to make mistakes unlike everybody else. That's why I feel like I would be perfect for your class. That's why I feel like I could go places, you know what I mean, from your class. I feel like, I'm willing to fight for my people. I'm willing to fight for not only that, but for, everybody. Yeah, me, pretty much that, you know what I mean? I'm willing to fight for my people and pretty much, and work every day harder and harder to get to that goal, because this is my new dream. You know what I mean? I lost the dream so I could do this dream. You know what I mean? So I could find this dream. And I thought that was very strong. And I was like, good, Coop, that, you know what I mean? You're saying F everybody else. It doesn't matter if they have more experience than you. You've been through so much. You've overcome so many obstacles. You've overcome you getting shot. Yeah, you lost your passion, your dream, but you sparked a new dream and a new passion of something worth fighting for and something bigger than your last dream. You know what I mean? It's like Coop's like, I found something bigger where I get to fight for my people, and I don't get to and I get to work every day twice as harder on the fact of I don't just get to just shrug my shoulders and I can afford to do that. I can afford to make mistakes. And it's like, I won't make mistakes. And that's the best, thing I could ever have heard Coop say. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You really want to fight for this. I was like, great, that this is clearly Coop's passion that she really wants to fight for. So I was like, let's get it. So I'm really hoping that she does, because she ends up telling, to Preach, like, like I got into the class or whatever, but, I'm going to help you, I'm on the case now. Tells Laura, like, I'm going to be on this case now going forward. Like, that's it. And tells Preach that, like, look, I'm now in this. I'm on the case with Laura, and we're going to help get Amina back. I'm on it now. I won't let you down. And pretty much, Preach just, gets in the car and ends up, like, leaving. And it makes me kind of worried about Preach. I don't want him, being so upset that he ends up going back into old habits and start getting back into things. I really hope that the writers don't do that. But I honestly don't know, because he's just so upset right now. And think about it. Like, he said that he wasn't in that life anymore because he had Amina, and because, he said he could still get it in, but he realized, I have Amina. I drop Amina off at school. I take her to extracurricular activities. It's like, now that he doesn't have Amina anymore, and he's so angry right now, what will he do? I don't know. I'm a little worried about what things Preach might just start to roll back into now that he doesn't have Amina anymore. I hope that the writers don't do that. I'm really pissed at the writers that, again, they make another thing, that they make like another thing where Preach just loses. It's like, it upsets me, because it's like Preach has a heart on the show. You know what I mean? It's like, he keeps, like, things keep happening to the man. He can never catch a break. And that's what I'm really annoyed about, is like, I really thought that if you were going to do this storyline, it should have been at the end of last season, or it should have been last season. It should have been right after Mo died. It should have been around that time where it's like, okay, the parents or the grandparents want to get full custody of Amina. That should have happened last season. Why do bad things keep happening to Preach? I need somebody to tell me why that keeps happening, because bro cannot catch a break, honestly. And I feel like the writers are just going to make him not be able to catch a break again and make him go back into the shit he was doing before. And I feel like that's terrible if the writers make him, if the writers write it like that, because I feel like they never give bro a break. So honestly, I'm really curious to know where Preach will go from here. Will he slowly, gradually start to do things that he used to do before? I hope not. I hope he keeps his head up and realizes that Coop is officially on the case and Coop will not let him down. It was not Coop's fault that Laura fucked up. Laura fucked up big time when she told Darius, which I thought was funny when I think Coop said it best when she said, oh, like great value Carlton. She said something like that, or bootleg Carlton. She said something. I thought that was funny when Coop said that. Literally, he acts like Carlton, but even Carlton, he doesn't have the coolness of Carlton. You know what I mean? So that's why he's like great value or bootleg, like Coop said. But that annoys me, where like Darius thinks he's better than Coop, but look what happened. You know what I mean? And that was the thing that, that was the point that Coop was trying to make to Laura, is that, Darius just, you know what I mean? He thought of Amina as just another case. He just shrugged his shoulders and said, oh, well, you're just shrugging your shoulders and saying, oh, well. You know what I mean? It's like, no. It's like, for me and my people, we don't get to just shrug our shoulders and say, okay. Like, no. Things need to change. And that's why she's like, I need to be doing this. This is my passion. This is something I know I need to do. So I'm just, I really do love that. And I'm super excited to see, like, Coop, taking what she wants. I'm really excited. You know what I mean? She's going to fight for what she wants. I'm really excited to see her do that. Instead of her just, people telling her what to do, she's going to be like, no, we're doing this. I was so happy when she told Laura, like, no, it's not a question anymore. I'm on this case now. You guys both effed up. You need to realize that. You know what I mean? You guys both effed up, and I should have been on this to begin with. And you know what I mean? And said, you know what I mean? I know that you're leaving, but I'm going to be in your class. This is who I am. I'm going to be in your class. I'll see you next semester. I'll see you next year, or next month or whatever. And then that's when he called Coop back and pretty much to say, Coop, you're going to be in my class. It's like Coop is finally fighting for what she wants and is done letting people tell her what she can and can't do. I'm so happy about that. I'm really happy that Coop is fighting for what she wants. Patience wasn't in this episode. And again, that was pretty much all really that happened in this episode. But now next week's episode is going to be crazy. No, I almost forgot the biggest thing. Like I said, when going back to Olivia ends up finding an assistant coach that, kind of like had the timeline of like when Coach Garrett started doing things. And, and that, like, I guess as the person left, things started to get really, really bad. Like, it started around this time, but it really started to get worse as this person left. And we ended up finding out that it was Billy's friend from the NFL, and Billy is totally against Olivia, pretty much, coming after him, and, you know what I mean, and making him feel any type of way. So, he's like, oh, no, Olivia, you're not going to go speak to him. I'm going to go speak to him. I know this person. He would never do this. We ended up finding out that his friend is the reason that Coach Garrett is going after other players and pretty much taking them out. Apparently, he just, Billy's friend just wanted to, knock the wind out of some players. But no, Coach Garrett took it 10 times more worse and was literally injuring people to the point where they could never play anymore, or they couldn't play for the rest of the season. Like, it really all started because of Billy's friend. And Billy's dumb self told his friend that this hit piece was happening and told his friend that Olivia, his daughter, was making the hit piece. I said, you're so dumb, Billy. I was like, you're kidding me. And what do you know ends up happening? Coach Garrett calls another press conference, and it's to say, I'm resigning. And guess who warned Coach Garrett that the hit piece was happening? Because Coach Garrett looks directly at Olivia like, haha, I won. I get to keep my reputation, and I get to go out on a good note. It was stupid Billy's friend, because Billy warned his friend about that. I was like, Billy, you're so dumb. I'm like, I hope you realize what you did. You fucked up everything for Olivia. You did. But I kept thinking to myself, at the same time, you did in a way you saved Spencer and saved Jordan from them pretty much, you saved them from them getting, their future totally like destroyed by Olivia doing this hit piece. But I thought to myself too, we end up seeing in the promo, which I'll play right now.
Garrett just resigned.
He deserves to pay and not get off scot-free.
If you do release that article, it'll screw up Jordan and Spencer's careers.
Garrett resigning means an uncertain football program. You've got an advantage living with the 2 stars.
How bad could it actually get?
As you guys saw in the promo, we see Jordan tackling JJ, probably because of the fact of maybe he ends up telling everybody in the room that, Layla and Jordan are together. He probably, I'm assuming that's why he's tackling JJ. I feel like there's no other reason why Jordan's tackling JJ, other than the reason maybe JJ spills to everybody, like Jordan and Layla are together, probably. But we also see that, Coach Montez ends up telling Asher, oh, by the way, I've been hearing rumblings over at GSU or GAU, that, apparently, their program might be shutting down and there's some things going on over there. You live with the players, get some information for me. Ends up telling Asher again to go do things that Asher should not be doing. I swear to God, if Asher does it, Asher clearly didn't learn after the first time that Coach Montez should never have told Asher to go tell me what Jordan and Spencer's weaknesses are to help our team out as they were going into a big game against their team in the playoffs. It's like it's like, yeah, I understand you want to become an assistant coach, but you doing that the first time was messed up. Coach Montez knew better than to be asking you to spy not just on your friends that are your enemies, that was all your rival team, but he had no right to be doing that. In a way, I see that as illegal, because it's like Coach Montez knew that was kind of illegal to be like, oh, I know that you want to go up in the ranks and you want to become the assistant coach. How about if you do this for me and tell me what their weaknesses are and spy on them, I'll let you move up. That's not how Asher should win and get in a position. And he didn't learn his lesson, essentially. He really didn't. But some people would say, well, he didn't tell, Coach Montez about Jordan's arm after he punched Wade. But it's like, it doesn't make it any better that, he did initially give stuff to Coach Gary. He did. So it's like, it's like, it doesn't make a difference. It's like the fact of what's to stop him now. You could say, oh, but he didn't do it, but he's about to now. He's going to probably do it. On the sake that he is an assistant coach now. He was able to do recruiting. He is an assistant coach now, essentially. So he's going to now do, recon on if that rumor is true about their program at GAU, about them, the program, essentially falling apart. Asher is going to do that for Coach Montez to impress him more and to keep his position. Asher is going to do that. I hope he doesn't. I know he probably will, because I've been having and it sucks because I've just started liking Asher, and I was really happy where he was going. He was finally an assistant coach, and things were going well for him and Jamie, and he was finally assistant coach. But now I'm gonna be really pissed if he goes back to those snaky ass, going that snake route, and and just and doing that shit, because it's not okay. It's not cool. So I don't know. It just to benefit his team and him. I can't stand that he's kind of like being a snake right now. I don't like that. I hate it. Again, I know it is his job, but that's just not okay that he's spying on his friends on the downfall of Coach Montez's, rival team. That's not cool. Especially it's not cool from the fact of, the fact that Coach Montez knows this and is telling Asher should be there for his friends, be like, guys, what can I do to help you? I feel bad that's just happening. I'm going to listen to Coach Montez because I want to keep my position. And I know that, it's like, oh, I'm going to think of you guys not as my friends, but I'm just going to spy on you and get information for my coach, for the head coach. It's like, no, bro, that's not cool. So I don't know where all that's going to go. But the biggest thing has to be is the fact of when he ends up going to Olivia, Coach Garrett, in the promo, and says that, Olivia, if you drop that piece, if you release that piece, you're going to destroy Spencer and Jordan's future by doing that. And that's going to really make me upset, because the point I was trying to make to my sister is that, yes, it isn't the outcome Olivia wanted from the promo. She's like, I didn't want him to get released, him to just, resign from being the coach. I wanted him to get in trouble. I wanted him to pay for what he did. And it's like, I get that. It's not the outcome you really wanted. You wanted him to get in trouble. You wanted him to lose all of his, status, and all of his, there's a word for it, and all of his, achievements. You wanted it all to go away. and you wanted him to lose his, is like, you know what I mean? You wanted him to lose everything. You wanted him to get in trouble. This made it where he doesn't lose everything, and he just, gets to keep his, his achievements. He gets to keep all that and gets to leave with dignity and with his pride still. She wants to take everything away, but it's at the point of like, yes, look, Spencer and Spencer and Jordan, you know what I mean? They're good now. Coach Garrett's not going to hurt anybody anymore. And I thought that was the reason why Olivia wanted to go through with this piece, is to get Coach Garrett out, but to also make it so he doesn't hurt anybody else again. That's what's happening. He's resigning. He's not willing to now, knowing what he knows. He's not dumb enough to go into another college and want to be there another college's coach. He's resigning. Yes, he gets to keep his, his achievements, and yes, he gets to keep his pride, and yes, he gets to keep, all the goals that he's done and set for himself. He gets to keep all that. But again, he's never going to hurt anybody else, and you got what you wanted. But she's on the point of getting so petty, Olivia. She wants him to lose all of his achievements, get really in trouble, like actually get in trouble, and she wants people to know what he did. But it's like, look, you got what you wanted. He's out of there. He's not hurting people anymore. And Jordan and Spencer get to keep their futures intact. You release this thing, that program is done. And that's what annoys me. It's like, you release this thing, you are hurting Spencer and Jordan's futures. On the sake of what? Dude gets what? Dude's not going to get put in prison. Probably not. Dude, what? I don't understand at this point what Olivia is trying to do, because it could ruin Spencer and Jordan's careers officially. And once they find out that, because don't get me wrong, damn well Jordan and Spencer are now going to realize, oh my God, Coach Garrett resigned. It's all solved. Olivia doesn't need to put out this piece after all. Because Olivia's gonna be like, he knew. That's why he resigned. And then Jordan and Spencer would be like, okay, well, like, if he knew, he's not dumb enough to go want to go coach again. You got him, Liv. He's not gonna hurt any people anymore, and he's also not gonna like want to be a coach anymore. You won. You did it. She's like, no, I want to hurt him, and I want to ruin his life. I'm still going forward with the piece. And then they'll be like, but Liv, like, you'll if you go through that piece, our whole program will get shut down, and you're hurting us. You're not hurting him. You're hurting us. And Olivia would be like, but it's what I want to do. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I want to hurt him. I really want to make him pay for what he did. It's like, again, you are hurting them in the process now, and you're not hurting Coach Garrett anymore. He already resigned. And he is already not dumb enough now, knowing that there is a hit piece on him. He's not willing to be another coach again. He's not. So you would literally be ruining Spencer and Jordan's careers if you go through with this article. I don't find that okay. It's like, again, I really thought that, because that's what Billy's gonna say. Damn well he's gonna say that. Be like, okay, if you go through this, you're gonna ruin their careers now. Coach Garrett is no longer a problem. You dealt with that problem. He's not. He resigned because how scared he is about that thing getting out. He resigned. He's never going to be a coach again. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, again, it's like, I don't know. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this, because I know Jordan and Spencer and all them are probably going to be like, what are you doing? You won. You did it. But she wants to she wants everybody to know about him hurting other players. And you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? She wants, and also him losing all of his credit for all the achievements he's done, everything. She wants just him to lose. And it's like, he did. She got underneath his skin. She did it. But he's never going to be a coach again and all that stuff. But I understand she wants him to probably, I don't know really what would happen exactly. I don't think the dude would get put in jail for him hurting other people. Who knows? Like that, like, you know what I mean? Through that, I don't know what would even happen. But initially, all I understand is what she just wants is, just people to wants him to lose everything. That's all she wants. She wants him to lose everything and wants this to get out. But it's like, I don't know, she's not satisfied with this happening. And you know what I mean, about him officially getting taken out of him being the coach. She wanted to see that happen without him doing it himself. So I don't know. I feel like at this point I feel like I won't like Olivia even more now if she goes through with it, knowing that she literally got him out. And you doing this thing at what cost? Like, what will it do? What will it do besides hurt Spencer and Jordan officially now? where it's like they have nothing willing to, you got them out, so it's like you're really willing to keep going and officially ruin Spencer and Jordan's careers after you got him out and he's not going to hurt people anymore. And he realized that you got him out. That must suck to him to realize that, he did find out that it was you that has that piece and has that information to get him kicked out and to make him lose everything. But he left. One, knowing that, like, I'm gonna leave on my own terms, and you know what I mean, and maybe that won't, you know what I mean, and I that way I could keep my pride and all that stuff and my dignity and keep my achievements. That's why bro left. But also, I don't know. So it's like, it's crazy to me that it's like I think she'll still go, and I think that's gonna be the dilemma going into the next episode, where they're like, you can't go through with this now because he's gone. You got him out, and he's not gonna hurt people anymore. I feel like they're gonna say that, Jordan and Spencer and Billy. Possibly, but she's like, no, I want him to lose everything. I don't care if he self-resigns. No, I want this article still to come out. And it's going to be like, I feel like they're not going to understand, like, at that point, you are hurting us if you do this. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I just feel like at that point, the program will be gone. And I'm wondering if that actually happens, where will things go? Because it's like, when that happens, I feel like everybody, all players that weren't even involved, are going to get looked at of cheating and being a part of what Coach Garrett was doing, and everybody's going to lose their scholarships. Everybody's going to lose any chance of getting to the NFL, any chance of other college teams picking them up. It's just, there's a lot of things that can happen if this story comes out officially now that Coach Garrett is out of there now, but also if she does this, it could hurt people that had nothing to do with anything. And I mean, it's like, and the same again, like, it was going to hurt them even if it did come out and Coach Garrett was in there. It was going to hurt Spencer and everybody. It's like, you know what I mean? And there was no other solution where it wouldn't hurt anybody else. So it's a really hard thing now. But since Coach Garrett kind of made it where it's like, Olivia, I dealt with Coach Garrett did himself like, Olivia, I'm out of there. But, and that's why he said that to Olivia, like, if you do this, you got me out, but if you do this, you're going to hurt them now. And I don't know what Olivia is going to do. I feel like I really know what she's going to do. She's been so stubborn about this story. She'll still want to go after Coach Garrett, even though he's not a part of the Condor team anymore. He's not the coach for the Condors, and he has nothing to do with the Condors anymore. And he's not going to be hurting people anymore. He's not going to be going to go be another coach somewhere else. You are going to literally screw Spencer and Jordan's futures on the sake of your future. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy because, again, you got what you wanted. You got him out. He's not going to hurt people anymore. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean, he's not going to be hurting other players anymore and making them get injuries and shit. I don't know. I'm really curious to know down in the comments below, what do you guys think is going to happen next week? It's going to be a crazy episode next week. I'm talking crazy. You guys saw the promo. I don't know. Do you guys think it would be right to keep going with her? Do you think she's right to keep going with her article and put out the article, even though Coach Garrett resigned? And kind of already, and kind of Olivia already won in the way of getting him to resign, and also him knowing he's not going to be wanting to be another coach anywhere else. Do you guys, you know what I mean? And it's just at the fact of Olivia wants to just make him lose everything. That's why she still wants to keep going with this. Do you guys think that's okay? On the fact of if she does it now, even though he's resigned, that she's going to be hurting Spencer and Jordan, do you guys think that's cool? Or do you I'm really curious to know, do you guys think that she should go through with it, or do you guys think that she shouldn't go through with it? I'm really curious to know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Also, what did you guys think about the whole, the whole, everything that happened with Preach, losing Amina to Laura hiring Darius for that case? Like, what do you guys think about that? And also, what do you guys think about the whole Jordan and Layla thing? Did you guys understand what I meant? Like, it made no sense why Layla was acting the way she was acting. I just didn't think that made much sense. I feel like the writers this season are writing the characters very weird. And the one I'm really the most upset about has to be JJ. It has to be. And it upsets me because I really love the show. Again, there's a lot of great elements to this show, but sometimes the writing just now isn't making sense to me with the way they're writing the characters. It's like, I don't get it. It's like one moment they'll act a certain way, and then another moment they'll just make the character act totally different and weird. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys maybe caught that too. Our characters acting. It's like one moment they agree to something, or they'll do something, and then another moment they'll do a totally different other thing. And I mean, it just won't make sense to the prior decision that they did previously, or you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, guys, I did like this episode a lot. I really, really did. I had some things I'm a little annoyed about with the writing, but other than that, I'm really curious. I'm really excited to see what will happen next week. It's just very chaotic next week. But yeah, guys, again, yeah, that was the video. Again, here, if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, a part of the fam, a part of the channel, while about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And yet again, guys, we are almost to 600 subscribers. Right now, I'm at 571 or 72 now. Almost to 600 subscribers. So yet again, I would really yet again appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel and put in notifications, like this video. And again, just let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm really curious to know what you guys thought about this episode. And yeah, guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next Monday for All American Season 5, Episode 6. Peace.